you can't trust the network you're on, and nor can you trust the device that you're using.
Sure.
There's today AI agents in every device. It's there by default.
Yep.
It's called client-side scanning. It's
What's it
looking for
called?
anomalies. It's called client-side scanning.
Okay.
Gee,
The
that
operating
doesn't sound
system.
ominous at all. No.
The operating
Orwellian.
system is looking for anomalies and it reports that back to head office. But you've got no control over what is being captured and what is being sent back, how long it's being stored, who else has got access to that down the line and afterwards. The CyberSecurity threats, which is what I'm dealing with today, are undetectable. It's no longer a virus. I haven't used antivirus software for probably 10 years.
Okay.
It's not a virus. It's legitimate code doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
And you can't detect this. Info stealer malware is a generic term for it.
Okay.
Is on your device. You have no idea.
Welcome. Yes, you're going to interrupt me. That's exactly what you're going to do. Of course, this is the Crypto Hour of Power. It starts with the standardised. Okay, it's the prerequisite of the show. Is you're going to talk over me the moment I pick up the mic. It is great
right, mate.
to introduce you to the Crypto Hour of Power. The man himself, the power himself, the
most people refer to me as the legend.
the legend of Orange Brick Road. It is, of course, Brandon Bartlett. Mate, good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. It's really good to be in person.
Very,
again.
very, very cool to see you here, mate. Absolutely. Now, we've got you here, but we've also got a guest sitting on the other side there.
Yes.
Now, we've talked to this gentleman before. He's got a bit of knowledge. He's got a bit of information.
Yeah, he's one of those smart people that I like to hang around with.
It's good to do that. It's good to hang around with
me back.
Well, we need these smart people because, quite frankly, without them, we shot. You know, we need you to elevate our intelligence here.
Nobody likes to know it all, though.
No. So before we go any further, the formal introductions.
Yeah, he's just one of these tech people that has been in the tech industry forever. He's a good friend of mine, very, very smart bloke. Sort of started based out of San Francisco, or should we say San Francisco now? Bring down the capitalist society.
49ers.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
cool.
It's a long way from here, mate.
Yes,
it's
it is.
Quite a swim.
Yeah, but he's based out of Aussie now. I'm going to do a little bit of a banter about why we're doing it, because today's actually not going to be about crypto. And I've done a couple of like these before, like we did the one with Avi and we're talking about journalism and stuff like that. And I got another one that's coming up soon, hopefully, about horses, which you guys will find very, very interesting.
I'm already zoning out on that one.
It's the greatest. I spent the day there on Sunday.
Okay.
It's like a rescue farm thing this lady's doing. It's absolutely just
That is cool.
100% gold. And she's got a heart of gold, and she just needs to be put out there and recognised for what she does. Anyways, segue. So how this one came about was I was listening to a podcast to go to sleep because that's normally what I do.
Yep.
And then these people were talking, because I listen to a lot of tech, a lot of crypto, obviously, and a lot of, finance and that sort of stuff, but I also like to keep up with tech, especially with AI and all that sort of development, because I spend 3 to 4 hours minimum a day just on AI. And anyways, they started talking about this 6G, right? Which is the evolution of 5G.
As in the telephone network technology.
Yes, 100%. And what it's going to do and the implications of the future and stuff like that. And it scared me that much that I got up out of bed and I jumped on the computer and went down a rabbit hole and started researching it. And come about 2:30 in the morning, I finished up. And then I woke up in the morning and just went, did I just do a flat earth? You know what I mean? And
you
just
think you've
dive
gone
down
that far that you've
some sort of rabbit hole, that Alex Jones, 90% of the time he's right, but occasionally he's, can be off.
Sometimes it's just about buying supplements, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Survival food. But then I dived into it again, and then I produced a 3 parts series newsletter on my LinkedIn.
Right.
So I'll put that in the description here as well when I release this as a podcast, the LinkedIn. So it's like it's a newsletter it's just a crypto newsletter, but I've done a 3-part series on that. So I studied it and carried on. Then I rang up a whole bunch of security people that I know and tech people and nerdy people and went, hey, this 5G thing, what's going on with that? And most of them didn't even know.
6G, mate.
6G, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Which decade are you in?
So and they weren't aware of it as well. So I went, okay, we need to get someone on and have a conversation about the implications of it. I'm going to do a brief sort of ramble of my understanding of it, which might not be completely correct, but it's what I've dived into. It's going to transform our lives completely. They're talking about between 40 to 60 million job losses in India alone by 2030. It's the invention of the internet, basically, to a point where it's not going to run off batteries, as an example. And these are some things we'll touch into and whatever. They're using things like heat from the roads to power these little bots that communicate with each other. Sitting on the side of buildings that vibrate, and the vibration will power them. So you will be able to do things, for example, it's 1 terabyte per second download.
1 terabyte
per person. Yeah. So you can literally download 100 HD movies in 1 second. So that's this long, right? They're talking about real life holographed meetings. Your whole body gets transported, the image of your body. For gaming, for example, like to actually be playing next to sports stars on a soccer field, basketball, cricket, whatever it may be, in real time. Surgeons, I think it's called platonic internet integration or something, don't quote me on that, where the surgeon can actually feel parts and be doing surgery remotely. So it opens that up to...
Means, as well as massive bandwidth, you've also got very, very low latency. It's almost instant.
And this is the amazing thing. Like, and I don't know, great details on this, but I certainly know, obviously, with what we do here, you know that the quality of the audio you put out has obviously different standards and hertz and all of that, but also video. Like if you're doing sports, you need to have a quicker refresh rate and all of that, right? All those sorts of things. So with that kind of level of tech, I mean, that becomes unbelievably irrelevant. If you're running like a 30 frames per second, if I move my arm like that, sometimes it'll look jagged on the screen, right? Sure. Yeah. Whereas with that kind of download rate, with that kind of bit rate.
When they were bringing in the NBN, they had evangelists going out there spruiking it.
Yeah.
Because what can you transform in our world if you've got a really, really, really high bandwidth and you can download the equivalent of a movie? Well, move beyond movies. What else is possible? And look at re-engineering some industries. And that has been what's happened. We've got the NBNs everywhere now, just about. This is another a quantum change again. So we're using what was radio waves is now using something almost that's a light ray, like a photon of light. It's not quite light frequency.
Yep.
It's a little bit on the underside of that. So if you go into the infrared and just below infrared.
Right.
So it's a really, really, really high frequency, which is why you can carry so much more density of information
at the speed of light.
Everything's at the speed. Photons are always at the speed of light, whether it's a microwave, a radio wave, a cosmic ray. But the higher the frequency, the more information it can actually carry.
Is that right?
And so, but it also means that it can't penetrate through some things. Light, for example, is such a high frequency or at the right frequency where it will not travel through a wall or a tree. Okay. But a radio wave, which is much lower frequency, will.
Yep. Okay.
So as you go to higher frequencies, there are barriers. And so what you'll see with this, which is almost at the speed of, at the frequency of light, not the speed of light, almost at the frequency of a normal light photon that we see with our eyes, it won't go through materials very well.
Okay.
Therefore, we need a lot of transmitters that are relaying the signal around, hence what you were talking about with the Internet of Things.
Yeah, they're talking about floating aerials in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a hell of a leap because, it feels like 5 seconds ago we were talking about 5G towers and the fact that, gee, they're everywhere. They're everywhere because 5G requires a shorter distance between them, right? And I'll relate this in the sort of my terms and what I would hope a lot of people would probably, think like me. Remember the old days when we had AM radio, okay?
Yeah,
I know it still exists, but AM runs along the ground. It's a big, slow, gentle wave, and it can go a really, really long way. Yep. Now, FM is a high frequency modulation. That's what FM stands for. Okay. And it's like this, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when things get in the way...
And you get a high fidelity.
Spot on.
Yes.
So you're getting more information, higher quality, but it's stopped by, walls or tunnels or buildings or whatever, right? Okay. So I assume this is that, but times, a million.
Exactly right. So this is an exponential scale.
Sure.
Yeah. And what it means when you've now got... we will need to have sensors all over the place that are relaying these signals, particularly in a mesh network. So you can walk around and you will always want to be connected.
Yeah.
But that means the sensors are also now picking up where you are, where you're walking.
Yep.
We can already kind of do this now with a Wi-Fi router in your house.
Yeah,
it's emitting signals.
Yeah, you're telling me that it's on the phone the other day, and it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, no, this is published. I learned about this about 6 months ago. I think it was MIT University was doing some experiments where they could detect where a person was, even through a wall on the other side, using a combination of artificial intelligence detecting the variations in the signals.
Yeah.
So the frequency that like a Wi-Fi router uses is kind of the 2.5 to 5 gigahertz. That range doesn't go through water very well. Okay. You're a sack of water walking around. You're effectively acting like a lens.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so when it hits you, it identifies you.
It changes the signal. And if you're AI, and AI can look at gobs of data and distill it down, and it can see a changing pattern. It can work out not only where a person is, but what they're doing with their arms.
Sure.
And this is essentially seeing through walls.
What they're typing.
Look, I've been working very hard to cover as much signal as I can.
Yeah. You're doing well. You're doing well.
There's a lot of very
good to achieve something.
You got to have goals, right? There's so many incredibly positive things about this. I can see straight away in medicine there'd be a massive amount of benefits there, being able to look into the human body in ways that we haven't before. All of that. There's a lot of positives, but geez, I've also watched the Terminator movies, right? Like I used AI what am I talking about? I've used AI today, all right? And I'm using it more and more every day. So I'm embracing it, but at the same time, I've got a degree of fear about it. I mean, I really do. I think that this level of tech is so intrusive into human beings.
Sure.
End of the day, we are okay. We're cells and water and all those kind of goodies. Some of this tech can't be good for us.
So
certainly not psychologically.
It's like a seesaw. There's always
scare the hell out of us, Graeme, please.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to scare you, but there's always a balance point with there's a incredible advantages that it opens up, but there is also issues of personal security, and it depends on who is controlling this, who has access to manage this, and this is not my domain. This is Brendan's domain, but if you don't trust the guy that's in power, it depends on which country you're in. It can be used for who knows what, like
nefarious.
Yeah. And there might be some things that you want to do personally that you do want to be invisible.
Yeah.
Let me say private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't need search warrants anymore, do they? I mean, they can just monitor where you are, what you're doing, when you're walking around in real time.
Yeah, that's right.
You think about that, don't they?
In real time.
Yeah.
But also the technology is basically it talks to itself. So it's like it's a learning mechanism of itself. So they're talking about things like traffic prediction. You know what I mean? Like on certain days, that sort of stuff to reroute things. And there's a lot of positive things that are coming out of it.
I don't want to play negative Nancy here. I mean, anything in life.
I do. It scares the hell out of me.
I'm, as I say, I'll use the convenience of it. But yeah, I am frightened of it. I think that if the wrong people get hold of it, I mean, you've just said with politicians, let's face it, we've an all-time low trust in our politicians across the world, right? This is tech which, geez, how do you regulate it?
So I think if you look at a country north of us here in Australia, where they already have mass surveillance going on with cameras on every street corner.
Joondalup.
Not talking about Joondalup. I'm
Joondalup is like that, but yeah.
the country north of us. And, everybody's using the same social media apps, which we know, there's a back end, and the back end is absolutely being recorded. And if it can't analyze it, like you won't have individuals sitting there looking at what you're saying, but you'll have AI agents that are actually analyzing this stuff, looking for patterns, looking for problems in society. Now, this exists today. We've already had the technology for at least a decade where it will recognize a person by the gait of their walk as they're running down the street.
Right.
So it knows you from your GPS coordinates.
Where you buy coffee.
Where you buy coffee, what you're buying, who you're having conversations with, what those conversations
Like chat
entail.
videos.
Yeah. And if you even try to go off grid with this other technology, no, it will actually see you. It will know where you're going. It'll know who else is going there, and it will track you over time. And we got AI. You imagine storing this as a large database. The AI systems will actually be able to monitor and track every single thing that you are doing. In a world that is like that, and the technology exists now to do this, so it's literally a function of how much time before this really ramps up.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you handle your own personal security?
Now, hang on, I've got an interesting thought.
Okay.
Here, right?
Yep.
Okay, I was just going to say very quickly is right now, one of our biggest arguments in life about everything is about power, as far as the supply of power of electricity, of energy, right? And you've got all of this quite ridiculous, and I see most of the climate crisis, this is my own opinion, and I see most of that technology as nothing but money laundering. The things like wind turbines are money laundering, right?
Yeah.
You need immense amounts of electricity to make any of this AI work, right? Yeah. So, where the hell are we going here? Because we're now going where so many of the countries are choosing unreliable power sources when in a time when we need more power than ever. When we really should be looking, in my opinion, at nuclear or something beyond that. And then this is something we talked off camera, which we just started talking about. I'd love to talk on camera about it, is these alternative power sources and energy sources.
Yeah. Yeah, my roots was physics.
Yep.
And so I tend to look at the world from a physics point of view. And we're living in a world where there is almost an infinite amount of energy.
Yep.
It's the issue is how do you channel it?
Yep.
And so the AI models are inefficient today. You need massive compute power and you need massive energy. And the predictions are over the next 5 years or so that you can suck all the energy that the grid produces and you will not have enough.
Yep.
And we're hitting that barrier. This is why in the US they're investing countless billions of dollars. And I think personally that it's inevitable that we'll end up with a nuclear future.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
It will be the AI itself will work that out, and it will bring economies of scale and efficiencies to massively increase GDP in order for it to actually feed its own needs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think it's an inevitable future.
And it's in the best interest of massive corporations to have this problem solved, They I'm going to call back to what we were talking about, but sort of go into the direction that you guys were mentioning, is the companies that have been doing the most amount of infrastructure work and technology development and stuff like that in 6G are Nokia, Ericsson, AT&T, et cetera, et cetera. They've already rolled it out in parts of Japan. In Australia, there's another place that they've rolled parts out, South Korea, and many other countries.
And they have done. They're all furiously chasing this goal. It's highly competitive.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because the winner essentially takes all. It's the power law.
India are one of the biggest ones that have been testing and trialing, and they predict between now and 2030, just for the development of the technology, they're going to lose between 20 to 60 million jobs. Just in India alone.
That's a lot of jobs.
This is life-changing technology.
Yeah.
And what do we do? Then we start talking about, we talk about universal income. We talk about all these other things, because if you're going to get a large percentage of the world who are now unemployed.
I personally think that universal basic income is essential.
Yeah.
The issue is going to be, will society adapt in time? I think it's going to impact a lot of us very, very quickly. And we don't have the ability to
My
adapt.
fear about that is that we're all human beings again, right? Okay. And ultimately, a universal income will, in a lot of ways, bring out the worst in people. I think a lot of people, work is it is their focus. It is the thing that draws them to be a member of society, to contribute to society.
That's a good point.
And if you take that away, right? I mean, you look at, and you could look at all the different social issues, but areas with higher unemployment have obviously higher crime, all of that. And it's not even just a case of lack of money; it's a case of too much time in so many cases.
Yeah, suicide rates are higher. It's how they implement the universal income with it. It's almost like the Carl Schwabs of the world and that sort of stuff. You own nothing and be happy and live in smart cities and like everything will be 5 minutes away. You won't need a car, all this sort of stuff. I think this is what this 6G technology is enabling, Now, to throw back to what we're kind of here to talk about is your product and what you guys do for security on the internet. And this is not a shield session. This is for not only my clients at Orangewick Road and people that I deal with, but anyone out there, especially awake people, and we kind of target that audience in a certain way, is like logging. Because, the first time we met, remember at the conference that you did, and there was like a whole bunch of people and you did a talk, and apparently I was the only one that came up to you and spoke to you or something, or was interested in your product or got it.
No, that was one of my staff.
Right.
I wasn't there. Most people come up to me afterwards.
Right.
You are quite the rock star. I get that. Okay, well, on that front, so because I don't know about this, so obviously security in the internet is massively important, right? Okay,
Yeah.
You lock your doors for your home and your business and your car and whatever, then why the hell wouldn't you with where you're the most vulnerable? And you are, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about it.
Well, that's what I just want to brief on that before we go is, well, when you showed me and you did the demo and all that sort of stuff and we got together, I never wanted to get on the internet again. You know what I mean? You just went, okay, do you realize this? You realize that?
Yeah.
When you're going into your bank account, for example, on your social media, whatever it may be. And then I went, okay, well, how do I get around this,
I can distill it down very, very succinctly. You can't trust the network you're on, and nor can you trust the device that you're using.
Sure.
There's today AI agents in every device. Is there by default.
Yep.
It's called client-side scanning. It's
What's it
looking for
called?
anomalies. It's called client-side scanning.
Okay.
Gee,
The
that
operating
doesn't sound
system.
ominous at all. No.
The operating
William.
system is looking for anomalies and it reports that back to head office. But you've got no control over what is being captured and what is being sent back, how long it's being stored, who else has got access to that down the line and afterwards. The cybersecurity threats, which is what I'm dealing with today, are undetectable. It's no longer a virus. I haven't used antivirus software for probably 10 years.
Okay.
It's not a virus. It's legitimate code doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
And you can't detect this. Info stealer malware is a generic term for it.
Okay.
Is on your device. You have no idea.
Every time I see the word cookies, I think, oh, here we go. The eyes roll.
And you can use incognito mode to get rid of this. Cookies, it's irrelevant. Okay. I've got stuff on your device that I've injected through nefarious means. I'm looking at everything. I'm capturing everything. According to Semantic, a man in the browser is there on average for 10 months before the hacker stings you. That's on average.
Yeah, no, I've heard this.
And you've got
I
everything.
believe that.
If I've injected malware onto Brandon's computer, into his browser, and all I've got to do is get him to click on a link, and it doesn't do anything, and he forgets about it, right? But it's injected my code into his browser. Somewhere over the next few weeks, I'm going to get every username password that he's entering. I know his mother's maiden name, his dog's first name.
Right.
I'm now one step away from tricking you to revealing your second factor when you log into your bank account or your crypto wallet or whatever. And now I can do this because I've now got control of your browser. It's social engineering.
Yeah.
It's quite simple. So 2FA is the solution that the industry has come up with. This is like another device. So you're going to get an SMS text message to your phone using Google Authenticate to come up with a one-time passcode, whatever. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to enter that in now, but as I enter into your, or as you enter into your browser, my software is picking that up instantly, and I've automated the process. That one-time passcode will be issued once, but it can be used many times in the next 35 seconds. Okay. I've got your money. I've got your crypto. I've got enough information to hold you to ransom. I can redirect a financial transaction. There's a lot of things that I can do.
What's your browsing history and blackmail you?
Yeah. Like I think if we roll back to April last year, 2025, there was a headline news, ABC, Channel 7 and others across Australia, 40,000 banking passwords to Australian banks were found for sale on the dark web. Now, these were not stolen from the bank. These were stolen directly off people's own devices. So this is a big problem.
So we're not even talking about the breaches of the banks or the government departments or whatever. We're talking about just literally them going straight to the source.
The 99.99% of cyber attacks target the end user's device. Okay. It's the goal is identity theft, is to capture your credentials to online services, capture your crypto, private keys, your passwords. If you're using a password manager, which we have to do because how can you remember so many passwords? When it loads your encrypted password into a web form, you see the asterisks. The asterisks are simply a mask for the person sitting in the chair next to you. Any software in that browser sees that as clear text. It's no longer encrypted.
Okay, so it's only for the visual, like you said, something behind you or next to you.
Correct. It's clear. You haven't pressed login yet. So your password manager actually exposes your credentials to malware. It can't not do it. This is a design flaw with the way browsers work.
Okay, so what is the answer?
Well, this is what we set out to fix. And we just had our 15th patent granted in the US, which is our major market on our primary product. About 14 days ago, which I'm absolutely stoked about.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. My investors were so happy. So what we do is we actually sidestep everything on your device. So if you want to do, for example, a cryptocurrency transaction, you want to log into your exchange, into your wallet, into your bank account, do something of real value, don't use your computer. Go down the street, buy a brand new laptop. Use it once and throw it away, and do that for every transaction.
It's a bit expensive.
It's a little impractical. But we can use the cloud to do this. And so one of the technologies that we have patented worldwide now, which we did probably about 10 years ago, how to build a virtual machine instantly.
Now, I remember talking to you about this, the virtual machines. It's fascinating stuff.
It's a pristine machine that has never existed.
Right.
It's a golden image. Essentially, it's hardened. And we do that in effectively a second.
So it's a virtual machine, no physical element, obviously, and you're creating it, and you're doing the job, and then you're throwing it away.
Yeah, we'll do this in a remote data center. The desktop screen of that is transmitted into your browser. So it looks like it's running locally on your device, but it's literally just an image. It's a graphical proxy. Okay, software cannot inject itself. It's like trying to hack a television station from your television. You can't do that. It's impossible.
Okay.
We've got an encrypted connection to the remote machine. Encryption has not been broken. And you've got a stream of pixels, and pixels do not carry code. You do your banking from that remote machine. So you're acting now like a ventriloquist almost. You're working remotely, and that machine could be anywhere in the world.
I do this every day. So every day I adopt this, but every single day I sit down on the computer at home before I come into work, and I remote in, and I can see that computer up on the screen, and I'm using the screens here at Edge, but I'm literally sitting at home doing it, right? So I'm controlling a computer that's nowhere near me. You're effectively doing the same.
That technology is called virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI. So what we're doing is VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure, but we're doing it with a hardened machine for a very specific purpose. And there's still an issue. When you're entering in a password or a cryptocurrency phrase or anything on your keyboard, if there's a keylogger tracking it, you're hosed. We have found a way of actually sidestepping that very problem. And the way that we do that is we'll harness the browser on your mobile phone. So there'll be a QR code on the screen. You scan this with your phone's camera. There's nothing installed. There's no software.
No app. There's no nothing.
There's no app.
QR, bada bing. There you go.
So the setup for this is there's no setup, right? It just works.
Right.
You scan that QR code, it'll launch your browser and turn your browser into a keyboard. But it's not really a keyboard. There is no keyboard.
Right.
It's an illusion. It's very, very clever.
Where's John Connor when you need him?
It comes up as a keyboard.
Yeah,
I
realise it. Yeah,
it looks normal. It's a pair
looks
coupled
normal.
connection.
Yeah.
The only place in the universe that can interpret what I'm touching on the screen is this remote machine that has only just been built and is invisible from the internet.
So from a user point of view, you're using something tangible. You can see it, you can feel it.
It looks and feels real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in actual fact,
So you'd enter, say, your password. You could enter your cryptocurrency private keys through there. Whatever you do, there is no single attack surface. Okay. You log into your bank, into your crypto exchange, into your wallet. You complete your transaction. You can do all three things. Log into your wallet, reconstruct your HD, your hierarchical deterministic wallet in the machine. Log into your bank account, log into your cryptocurrency, and then when you log off, that machine evaporates.
Yeah, it's disappeared
without trace. There is no cookies. There is no breadcrumbs. You're secure. You're anonymous and untraceable from hackers and trackers.
Yeah, and just to circle it back is, with this 6G thing is that passwords and encryption are going to be very, very easily done now with the amount of information that can be transmitted and the amount of viruses that can be put on and malware and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm quite certain that what we've developed here is actually so fundamental.
Yeah.
That and the technologies I'm talking about is standard encryption, standard encoding.
Yeah.
These things are not broken.
Yeah.
You would need billions and billions of years to decrypt this, and if you succeeded, you'd have contextless, meaningless encoded data.
Yeah, with the 6G coming out and what people can do with it and that sort of stuff, it just makes everything that you're doing online more vulnerable.
I think
unless you're signing in using something like you've got, once again, not shilling it, I'm just literally saying the reality of it is that I literally won't get into a point where I don't want to log into my bank account because of keyloggers and all the other stuff that's coming through, I think
I'll summarize it like this. If you've got a transaction to do that your career depends on or your family's future depends on, you can't trust your own device and you've got no idea what's happening on that network. What do? Vanishing Point is the solution.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanishing Point.
The product is called Vanishing Point.
Oh.
It makes you invisible to hackers.
Yep.
And on a potentially compromised device or surveillance on an unsecured network.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I just think about everything we do in our daily lives. We're using our phone, which is a computer, right? It's a supercomputer that we've got in the palm of our hands. We're leaving ourselves incredibly vulnerable. If you're talking about tech that can download what terabyte a second or whatever it was, okay? It's not like you can out-type it, okay? No. I mean, I type 3 words a minute, so I've got no chance anyway. But, that's the reality of it, You've got to think of it that way. So you've got to use the tech that kind of goes to the same speed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the conversations I've been having with Brandon recently too is hardware wallets versus software wallets for cryptocurrency. And, the gold standard is a hardware air-gapped offline device, which is the gold standard. And I'll never talk anybody out of using that. But for me personally, I lose equipment. I travel a lot. I've just moved house. I will lose it.
Right.
And hardware devices always fail eventually.
Yep. They're going to use by date for sure.
And when it does fail, I'm going to fall back on my 12-word, 24-word crypto phrase to reconstruct my wallet in another device.
Yeah.
But what we've created here is a concept of an invisible wallet. So it's like an online software wallet, but it's invisible from the internet.
Yeah.
It's akin to an air-gapped machine device.
You spent a bit of time doing that for our crypto people too, didn't you, bro?
Okay, this is how I do it. And I've been doing this now for quite a few years.
To be frank, that's the best advertisement. If you're going to use it yourself,
it's pretty. No, seriously, I would not dream of doing my banking or anything, even my staff. I mean, I've run a company, I've run a couple of companies, and my team, particularly in the office procedures, my customers typically have been fiduciaries, trustees of trust accounts, real estate agents, property conveyancers, lawyers, insurance brokers, where they have potentially huge amounts of money more than their business is worth. And these people, are, if they're a trustee, are personally liable if any money goes missing.
Even the data that they have, you know.
That's right, yeah.
That's a really good point, the trustee
And
issue.
so I'll just say this. I had a beautiful experience literally a week ago, just before Christmas, where I had a face-to-face, actually in a coffee shop meeting with somebody in real life. And I was going through some of the testimonials on the website. And there's one particular customer, which was actually our very first customer. He's been there for 10 years. I was telling the story. And in that conversation, I just finished telling the story. My phone rang. And it was this guy ringing up, wanting to give me his credit card to renew for the next 12 months. 10 years.
10 years.
His office has been using this. He's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
10 years every day. Loves it. He knows he's been targeted.
Yeah.
He's super informed and right on top of it.
In my own life, I used to think this is something that happens to other people, right? It's the old story. Oh, yeah, other people get hacked. But, okay, when I look in my friendship group and I think about the financial things that have happened to people, I know people have literally gone through this and had their accounts, emptied and stolen. I know I've got 3 friends who had their bank accounts frozen by the banks. I know that's not the same thing, but like it's still an incredible electronic intrusion into your life, right? It's not what I anticipated my life to be. You kind of, as I say, you expect this happens to others, not to people in your life and that. But this is such a real thing. This is something that's happening to everyday Australians, people all around the world, really.
Everywhere around the world. Yep. So it's not a technology that like every mum and dad is going to use. But if you're doing something and you know that you are potentially it's going to cost you dearly if it goes wrong, then we have a solution. And it's very simple. There's no software. I'd wrap it up by saying, in a world drowning in info stealer malware and artificial intelligence surveillance with no solution, Vanishing Point is the escape hatch.
Yeah. I agree with that, brother. It's a good way to finish, isn't it?
And on that bombshell, let's get out of here.
Bombshell.
Thanks for being part of the Crypto Hour of Power, which we didn't talk about crypto, but we talked about an excellent product called
Vanishing Point.
Get onto it.
Security.com.
Yeah, links will be in the description.
They certainly will be. Thanks for being part of the show here on Edge Radio
Thanks,
Australia.
Cheers, guys.